Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. And today we have a special guest. Our guest is called Kenny Tunj. He's from New York City. Yeah, we're going after everybody. We're going to talk with almost everyone. If you want to talk to us, you want to reach out to us, you want to be our next guest, please follow the link below and reach out to us and let us know if you want to participate. We'll be more than happy to talk to you and know what you have experienced with Kuduro. So our guest Kenny, he runs a platform called AfroConnects, which I am also part of. But our main focus here is to know his experience because Kenny Tuji is taking Kuduro all the way from Angola to New York City, and now they are hosting parties. And these parties are amazing. They are growing really fast. And they had some amazing DJs that played a lot of Kuduro. So Kenny is extremely connected with Kuduro in the New York City. So this is a very how can I say, interesting meeting that we are gonna show you guys that I had with Kenny. And here also some videos of him dancing. He's also an excellent dancer. He loves the culture. And Kenny was also here in Angola. He has been doing a lot of connections with many dancers here in Luanda and DJs, including Vado Poster. And also one of the greatest dancers that we also have here in Angola, Vandro Poster. I used to be confused with Vado Poster, Vandro Poster. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about some of the dance scenes as well. We are going to have an episode where we're not going to have a guest, but we're going to talk to you and just show you some clips of some dances and some tutorials so that you can get familiar to what we're talking about, because some people are basically watching this I Love Kuduro show for the first time and maybe they never heard about what Kuduro is or anything like that. So we want to make sure that we are here together and that you know what I'm talking about. So as we know, Kuduro started as a dance and now it's a music genre as well. And I want to clear something out. Afro House is a subversion of Kuduro. It's under the umbrella of Kuduro. When people talk about Afro House, they think that Afro House doesn't have anything to do with Kuduro, but that's wrong because it's basically the same thing. If I say I'm going to teach Kuduro, people are not really going to come. Kuduro is very popular, but it's not as big as Afro House. You know why? Because South Africa is the first country in Africa to call their music genre Afro House. And here in Angola, we used to call our music genre Kuduro. But because Fabio Dance and all the other popular dancers like Fabio Dance, Os Pelucas, and our DJs, they've all been going to South Africa, and the DJ Cleo, DJ Coffee, they inspired a lot of musicians here. So when we got to know about Afro House, everyone was talking about Afro House music, and it became a hit. And because Afro House for some time in South Africa was extremely popular. As we know, there's house music in the US, but in Africa we have Afro House and started in South Africa. So as time went by, Angola also started to create their own version of Afro House, which is the one that you hear from Mestre Dangui, Bebushu Kikuya, Preto Show, and many musicians that we have here. Already they are using the Afro House version of Angola, but we didn't have another name for the dance, so we named the dance Afro House as well. But the actual dance is a Kuduro dance, which is an evolution of some movements that we did in Kuduro. Like I said in the previous episodes, there is a huge connection between Kuduro and Afro House in terms of execution of movements that people from Angola can actually relate, and we know. And one of the guys that were actually showcasing Afro House, one of the first guys was like Pelucas. They were mixing Pantula and Kwaito, and then with Kuduro, and then we had Fabio Dance that were mixing also some of the Kwaito moves and some of the Dombolo from Congo moves, and they were creating these particular movements with Kuduro and mixing the foundation from Kuduro with all those movements. and then what we have today, the Afro house, that people get so confused. Like, what is the difference between Kuduro and Afro house? Is the same. It's just the way that you do it is different because the music also changed. Wow, I could talk about this all day. There's so much information. I've done a lot of research. I studied this for 10 years. I've been teaching people a lot about this. It's amazing. And we're going to talk more about this in the next episode. So you got to stay tuned. If you want to learn a lot about Kuduro, we're here on I Love Kuduro. We have a lot of information. All right. So make sure you also watch the I Love Kuduro movie. And if you want to reach out to us and be part of our podcast here, you can also call us, reach out to us on our email link below. Just make sure if you want to be part of this. Now we're going to talk with Kenny because Kenny has a lot to say. All right, so now we're here with Kenny from the USA. Kenny enjoys the culture from here in Angola, and it's such a pleasure to have him here on I Love Kuduro. And we are going to talk a little bit more about his experience. As you can see, we're already showing you guys some of his videos and some of his wonderful work. Now Kenny's here with us. And Kenny, how are you today?
I'm good, Manuel. Thank you for having me.
Finally, I Love Kuduro in English, isn't it?
Right, finally, because I've been watching I Love Kuduro for a long time. I actually saw the film as well.
Oh,
So to
nice.
have it in English is really good because sometimes you're like, what are they talking about?
Exactly. And sometimes subtitles can be a little bit distracting. You want to see the images, you need to read. I feel
Right.
that way. So having the show available for everyone to actually in English because it's such a universal language is a huge advantage to the Angolan culture because I believe you, Kenny, you run AfroConnects and you know how hard it is to get people to understand the stories. You want to tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that?
About AfroConnects?
Yes.
All right. So AfroConnects actually was started with me and Manuel. So Manuel, thank you for being a part of this idea and bringing it to life. And I've always been a dance lover and I've always been an Afro dance lover. And as someone who consumes the culture and someone who loves Kuduro culture and the dances that come out of Angola, I wanted a way to celebrate the dances. I wanted a way to make the people who are creating the dances and the moves and everything that we love that we're consuming from in the diaspora. I wanted a way to be able to highlight that and celebrate it. And so Afro Connects, the idea behind Afro Connects really is one central place where you can go and learn more and see more of these dances that are coming out of Africa and the Afro diaspora. So yeah, that's the main idea of Afro Connect, celebrating Afro dances.
Perfect. I don't think it's much different from what I Love Kuduro has been doing. But the only difference I would say maybe is that I Love Kuduro focuses more on the Angolan culture. Do you want to tell me about your experience? You have been here in Angola how many times? Twice?
Yes, I've been twice to Angola.
How was the first impression and the second one?
So first impression so obviously as a dance lover, someone who consumes the culture, um, I wanted to get on the ground because I love seeing how the dance is happening naturally, right? So a lot of
Yeah.
times we in the diaspora who are consuming these cultures, we don't get to experience the culture the way it's happening in its native place. So it was important for me to go to Angola to see how the dances are done. Because here, a lot of it is studio, right? We don't just dance on the corner of the street, Afro House or Kuduro here in USA. As much as I
Yeah.
want that to be, it doesn't happen that
Yeah.
way. So for me, it was really important to go. I would say my first trip, I was overly focused on dance. And so in some ways, it distracted me from truly opening my eyes to see the full culture of Angola because I was so like, oh my God, I have to train with these people. I want to meet these guys. I want to do this. And it was a shorter trip. My first trip was 10 days. My second trip was 21 days.
Yeah,
So
almost a month.
Right. So the first trip was like, Manuel, who can I train with? Who can you set me up with? Right. So it was
Yeah.
very, very much like training. And my first trip was 2 years of me training Kudro and Afro House. Right. So I started my training in 2017, and 2019 I came to Angola. So it was really important for me to get better in the style, just to live it and experience it, see how the dancers were naturally doing it. So the first trip was very much focused on dance, dance, dance. And then the second trip, I started African X. We started African X, right?
Yeah.
So the second trip was more along the lines of a lot more. It was dance because I obviously wanted to still take the opportunity to meet dancers and train. But it was a lot of also meeting dancers just to interact with them, not necessarily for them to pass on information to me in a training setting, but more to just interact, build camaraderie, get to know them, get to understand what their challenges are, what motivates them, and also to create content, right? To create content
Yeah.
because part of Africa Next is to obviously, like I said, show these dances, and I wanted to capture the dance, how it's happening, how the dancers are doing it. One thing I would say is that you don't see enough of Angolan dance on social media.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
getting better. I want to say in the last within this year, there's a lot more dance out of Angola on social media. You have a lot more dancers with TikToks that are now also posting. So you're seeing a lot more. But before, in 2019 when I came the first time, there was hardly anything
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
internet from dancers
That's
in
true.
Angola.
For some reason, COVID kind of made everyone get into online thing, and it's not
Right.
like Angola never had internet. It's that they had, just they were not using it the way they're using now, because most people realize the way they can connect to people is through internet. So
Right.
I would like to. You spoke very well about your experience here in Angola, and I think people also want to know. People, I mean Angolans included, especially, what drove you to liking Kuduro and Afro House? Was it the music or the dance? This is a huge question for most of our participants here on the program. We here in Angola, as I love Kuduro, we like to know what really drives people into Angola and the Angolan culture. Is it the dance or the music?
I would say it was first the dance, and then it was the music. Obviously, the dance comes directly with the music. So I would say when I first discovered kuduro, it was because of I love kuduro. I think you, Manuel, I didn't even know it was you. You came to New York with Korean Do,
Yeah.
and you guys did an exhibit. And I was in a house dance class with a instructor here in the U.S. in New York at the time, named Kim Holmes, and she brought in dancers. She said, "We have a new style that's coming out of Africa, and I just want to showcase you guys." And you guys did this kuru dance, and I was just blown away, right? And I was
That was
like, "I've never
2012.
heard of this dance." I'm like, "What the hell is this?" These guys are like, but at the same time, what's funny was when the males danced, it was very like brand new. But then when the females danced, I was like, wow, that looks very similar to how girls dance in dance hall. They would get on the floor, shoot this girl. There was
Yeah.
a girl with you guys. She was doing, and I
Yeah.
remember the move that
Mireni.
stood out the most for me.
Yeah.
She was doing the Maluka dance and she was like shaking the head, and then she got
Yeah.
on the floor. And for me, it was mesmerizing because there was such rawness, and it was the complete opposite of how we danced in the US, right? It wasn't clean lines. It reminded me of like modern traditional dance, if in
It
some
was
ways, right?
free.
So that
Yeah.
it was free. It was free of choreography. It was just feelings. And as me personally, that's how I like to dance. So that's
Yeah.
what I gravitated to. The freedom in it where it wasn't so formulaic or so rigid in terms of how you express yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
so that drew me to it. And then once I started researching, because obviously I saw this dance, then the music that I saw people dancing to, and the first group that like kind of drew me in was this, obviously, because at that time YouTube was the big thing. Instagram didn't exist, TikTok didn't exist. So if you
Yeah.
wanted to see dance, to discover a dance, you had to go to YouTube,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And Afro, there was a group, and I've come to realize they were out of Portugal because I didn't realize at the time. But Afro Panico, there's a
Uh,
group on
Afro Panico. Yeah.
YouTube,
Yeah.
uh,
Yes.
Afro Panico, and I just loved. I was just like this, like so at the time, it was like that early stage of like Afro
They dropped the
House,
first,
Angola.
yeah, they dropped like the first videos. In their videos now, I
Right.
think it's beyond 900,000 views, I believe, by
Right.
now.
They're almost at 1 million views. So
Yeah.
those Afro Panico guys and the way they were dancing. And then I discovered the video Shimbala. It was another video, and I think it was the Afro Panico guys that danced in that video. It's a beat by Vadu Poster, I think.
Okay.
I think it's a beat by Vadu Poster.
Okay. Wow.
Um, and I was like, what is this beat? And look at this footwork. So from that, you get so curious, you just start doing more research. And that's what really drew me in. It was the dance first, and then
Yeah.
through trying to discover more of the dance, discovering the music that the dancers were dancing to, which
Yeah.
is just that simply ties into Afro Connects, right? Because
Yeah.
dance is the medium for people to discover music and different cultures.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
So, yeah.
musicians need to recognize that.
Exactly. So this is one of this is the reason this I Love Kuduro format is so important because there is so much information coming out of Angola which is not in English and it's hard for people to understand because you can't find these informations on Google, the ones that are being
Right.
shared here. And there are many young, good artists that are popping up now with good music. You don't get to see them in the mainstream, but they're out there. So this is why this program also highlights those new ones. And what we're trying to do with this new format of I Love Kuduro is actually to highlight both ways. We know we are used to seeing the part of the music, and well, the dance might be like an extra at some point. It's not really the, how can I say, it's not really the musician's fault. I would say perhaps the dancers, because there's got to be some way for us to organize ourselves and actually showcase our dance in a proper way. If we watch many programs of Kuduro, we're always going to see the musicians first. So this is why it's important for us to know what really drives people to love Kuduro, and not only Kuduro, because we have Kizomba as well. So I see many popular dancers such as Selma, Nunu, Moikana. We see the ones you just mentioned as well, Concept. Those dancers that became, how can I say, like a celebrity status in Europe, because they kind of catapult, like they push the music into a whole level, because it's a whole new level because of the dance. And one of the things that you hear from people when they watch your dance video, next thing you know is, what's the music? What's the title of the song? They always want to know the
Right.
song after the dance, because they see the dance now. Oh, I think I can. Why do they ask what is the title of the music? Because they want to dance to that as well. They feel like, wow, that's so cool. I want to dance to this music as well. So it's
Well, that's
important
the
to,
beautiful thing about dance, right, Manuel? And you know this. A dance, well, you have two things coming together, right? You have the visual and the dance and the music. Well, three things. Because you can just be playing the music. Man, you might love the music, but when you put a dance on it and then you add it into a video, it also brings the song to life. So a lot
yeah,
of times dance has that ability to make a song amazing. I'll give you an example. I remember when Janet Jackson did her Afro song when it was like 2019, I think it
Made
was,
for
right?
Now. Uh-huh.
Made for now.
Yeah.
I did not like that song, but then she dropped the video with
Then
all the
everything came into
dancing in it.
colors.
And then it was like I fell in love with the song through the dancing in the video,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times dance has that power to enhance the song.
Because of the message, because dance is a
Right.
language, it's a universal language. You see the music becomes comes to life because of the movements of the dancers.
Exactly. A dancer has an ability, you're dancing on the beat and there's a way, you can express the punctuation of that beat with a movement that makes that beat sounds even better. Right? Because you're like
Yeah.
you're on that drop and you do something amazing on the drop. All of a sudden, you always hear that drop now in the song
Yeah.
because of the move that you did on that part of the song.
Yeah, everything becomes more clear now. Wow, some
Exactly.
effects that you didn't
Everything's become
realize it's
more clear
there, you
now.
know? Yeah.
Like I read somewhere, and it just always stuck with me that to be a great dancer, you have to be a good listener. And if you see how dancers can turn songs into make songs even better, it's because they're listening to the song and trying to not trying, but communicating how they're hearing that song. And then we watching those videos of the dancers hear the song the same way now because we're
Yeah.
seeing how you're moving to that beat. So all of a sudden, you're watching that video and that song all of a sudden becomes alive, and you're like, "Holy shit! What? Sorry, holy
It's
moly!
okay.
What is that song?" Right? You're like, "I want to know the song." Immediately,
Yeah,
you're in the comments and you're like, "Now I'm ready to download that song. I'm adding it to my playlist."
exactly. Exactly. And you know, you just spoke about something very important, playlist. How many genres of Kuduro music do you like? I know that Kenny, you have already experienced some different changes in the Kuduro music
Mm-hmm.
rhythms. Like, is there a particular artist? Can you like break down like three artists that you think are very unique and two DJs that you think are very unique? How can you tell the difference between their work and how close is it to what you know about Kuduro?
Okay. Obviously, Titika is somebody I always check out. I admire her work. I think is unique in the sense because I think she keeps the core essence of
Yeah,
her of Kuduro with a very Congolese influence.
yeah,
Even in the way she moves, she always moves her hips and all of that.
yeah,
So I like Titika because she brings a different element of Kuduro culture and Kuduro foundation and history in her music. Even in her even if she's dancing to a modern Afro house beat, her movements are still from an earlier era in terms of
exactly.
the influences. So
And
I
you can
love
see
that.
that on her new video, like
Yes,
Banana, the new the new
yes,
video. It's all there. She never changes that essence of the
exactly. So
of
I
the
love that.
roots. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
So Tatika is one artist. Obviously, you have the new artists like not new, but you have someone like Preta Show who's gone from the early ages, the early stages of Kudu, and he has evolved, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
evolved with the time. So I love seeing that. I love seeing an artist that kind of has adapted to the change in music landscape, but at the same time, he brings it. He brings that original Kudu essence, even though it's been modernized and it's been evolutionized. So
Yeah,
those are
Preto
two artists
Show
that
is really
yeah. So those
sorry.
are two artists that I watch a lot because I think they're at the top of their game and they're elevating it. You can see if you watch an old Tatika video to what she
Yeah,
is now, you see the evolution. You see how
yeah,
she's elevated,
yeah.
elevated not only her presentation, but like when she releases a video, she spends money. You can tell she spends money on
Yeah,
her videos.
yeah.
She
Yeah, but
invests in herself.
I agree. But I think Preto Show spends more money.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
Predator Show
that
spends more
guy.
money.
Woof. I
He spends
think,
more money, but
yeah,
I also think he straddles. And now I'm just speaking from an outsider looking in. I don't know
yeah,
everything about Kuduro culture, but he straddles
yeah,
Kuduro and I would say like Kuduro trap.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
Something like that. Yeah, true. What about two DJs?
DJs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give us two
You
DJs.
know, man, there's so many DJs that I love. Honestly, the DJs are the outside of dancers, DJs are the second most important people for me,
Yeah,
right? Because I love to listen mixes because mixes is often how I discover new music.
exactly.
When a DJ puts it in a mix, I'm either looking at what's the playlist for the mix, or I actually write them. I'm like, hey, at minute 40, what's that song?
Yeah. I bet they feel like
Or
really annoyed, like, oh my God.
right. Oh, I send it to you. I'm like, hey, Manuel, do you know this song? You know?
Yeah.
So DJs, man, I love DJ Lutonda because I just think like every live set I hear from that man is just next level. Like
Yeah.
he has a way of bridging the Angolan sound with a Portuguese sound with a South African sound. So he has a way of bridging all three. And I don't think a lot of DJs are doing that right now. You have either they're very Portuguese
Yeah.
or they're very Angolan or they're very South African. And I think
Yeah.
Lutanda bridges the three different sounds of Afro house coming from different parts of the world, or the three parts of the world that are influencing Afro house sound the most. He has Angola, he has Portugal, he has South Africa. And he
Wow.
does a really good job of making it sound unique to him. Like when I hear that set, I'm like, that's a Lutanda set, you know? Um,
Yeah.
I love Nalesta as well.
DJ
And of course,
Nelasta,
Vadu
huh?
Posta. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Nalesta and Vadu Posta. Um, so those are three DJs that for me, every time I hear them play, I want to dance.
Wow.
And that's important for me.
Wow.
What else did you
Oh,
ask?
no, that's
So it's
about
two
it.
artists, two DJs, yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. But I wanted to ask you, have you heard any new generation, like any new dance here now?
DJs.
Yeah, no, no, no. I mean, musicians with the new move. You know, we here in Angola have the habit, like when the beat comes, it comes with the move. Which move
Yes.
is really getting you in, that's giving you difficulties? Like which new move, the trendy move now that you would like to learn, that you're like, this move is so hard, but I love it. Which one is it?
Uh, which new move?
Mm,
Honestly, I haven't seen a lot of new moves recently. At
mm.
least if I did, I don't know the names. I know the Labas is something I
Yeah,
see a lot of people doing, but that's simple. That's not a difficult one. But I
yeah,
do like it. I do
yeah.
like it. Before that was Matelo, right? I saw lots of that's another easy one. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, the move for me that I think stands out the most and looks the most unique and has the most variation is still Kavala Maluka.
Cavallo Maluco.
Right. And I
Oh,
see like there's like this new Cavallo, 2030 or whatever they're calling it.
yeah. There's a
There's
new
just
Cavallo, yes.
something there's a new Cavallo that I see people doing that I'm just like,
Mhm.
this is why I love this move because
Yeah,
you can take this move and create so many variations. And when I
exactly.
see the kids in Angola do Cavallo, what I love most about the way they do it is like the upper body stays stationary and
Yeah.
just the
The
waist
hips,
is
yeah.
moving, And so for me, that
The isolation,
isolation
yes.
of just the waist and the way they make the hip pop left to right,
Mm-hmm.
like it's a
Mm-hmm.
cartoon donkey or a cartoon horse. It's just phenomenal for me. So, and why I love Cavallo mostly is because when I think of an African move, or when you think of traditional African dance, a lot
Yeah,
of times traditional African dance mimic things that were happening in real life,
yeah,
right? You had dances that were either for the elements, wind, water, whatever. And
yeah,
then you have dances that mimicked animals, etc. And
exactly.
Cavallo
Yeah,
is for me, is like a modern take on how traditional African dance was. It's just in
exactly.
an urban way. And that's why
Exactly.
that dance is so amazing because horses can run in many different ways.
But
And the
they
many
managed to do a very specific variation to that movement and actually create their own.
exactly create their own.
Yeah.
And so it always looks fresh.
Oh,
It always looks fresh. So it's going to be interesting to see how it's called Labas, right?
yeah, Labasi.
Labase.
Uh-huh.
Labase. It's going to be interesting to see the variations that come up with that because right now it's just you're standing up and jumping with
Uh-huh.
one leg. So
Trust
it's going
me,
to be
there will
interesting.
be. There will be.
So I do like the move though because one of the things that you recognize too, Manuel, you're a dancer, is the music influences how we dance.
Exactly.
And the beats today are much faster than the earlier generation of Afro house beats. And I do think in some ways that limits how much moves you can do because it's so fast.
Yes. At some point, for sure. But about I think that it's a full circle thing, because in the beginning, Kudro was just like this. We didn't do too many moves. It was always just very one move with different variations. And then around the year 2000s, we started to have more moves. And now we are getting back to doing one move. And you can see many people will just dance Cavalo Maluco move to the whole song until its end. There was some time when we will do like a lot of moves for one dance, and it was hard for you to realize which is the move for the music. Like you didn't know that. But now it's full circle. We're going back. And trust me, I think there's going to be a point where we're going to go back so much that we're going to start doing the electronic vibe that we did back in the 80s. Trust me, we're getting there. Because even Afro House now is starting to get faster. And it wasn't this fast in 2009.
Right.
Yeah, right. So it's all changing. Yeah. So we have been showing everyone images as Kenny was talking. I hope you were able to understand all the references that he did here as we spoke. We want to make sure for this program that you are actually being part of the culture as we're talking, so you can actually understand, because we have so many types of podcasts for I Love Kuduro, and we have the Portuguese version that you can also follow on Instagram. And you can actually see the Angolan artists talk about their experiences. For this one in specific, you have been hearing too much about the dance. And we want to make sure that the dance and the music, they're always in together, because one can lift up the other. And this is why we have such amazing, talented choreographers such as Kenny and the others that live outside of Angola to express what they think about Angolan culture in terms of Kuduro and Afro House. So we have come to our end of the conversation with Kenny. We are still going to invite you, Kenny, for the reaction video. That's going to be, I think, soon, but we're going to reach out to you. We're going to put a bunch of videos and we're going to watch together. We're going to just reaction. Yeah, just reaction. So, Kenny, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you for being here for us. I Love Kuduro. I appreciate this. Do you want to send a quick message before we hang up? For Angola or for anyone?
What do you say?
You can send message to anyone for Angola, or maybe you just want to give a shout out
to everybody there in Angola, to all the dancers. Keep pushing. I know it's not easy, and it looks easy because you see a lot of this. You see what looks like a lot of success from dancers outside of Angola, living outside of Angola. So keep pushing. It's your creations. It's your dance that motivates and inspire us. And for the musicians, recognize that you have an audience outside of Angola, and try to think of that audience as well when you make music, because we do love the music, but we also want you to innovate and keep pushing your creativity when you make your music. We don't want it to stagnate.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your holidays. Have a good one. God bless you. And I'll see you soon.
Yes. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So that was my meeting with Kenny. I hope that you enjoyed this footage and also his inspiration. We managed to show you some of the conclusions that he had in terms of being here in Angola and all the experience that he had as well. We are very excited to have people like this that are also helping the culture evolve, because we're actually happy when we see people becoming part of us through the dance, through the music, because Kuduro is connection. And without further ado, let me take it to Mauro now, because I know, we gotta stay with the timing. Let's see what Mauro has for us today.
Hello, familia. My name is Mauro Vitor. Sejam bem-vindos ao programa I Love Kudro from Angola. Daqui quem fala para vocês é Mauro Vitor, como sempre, não é? E hoje estamos com um formato simples, bonito e bem elegante. Eu sou da mais bailarina, mas pronto, né? Hoje temos como convidado o excelente bailarino coreógrafo, com vocês, Adilson Maísa, o trabalhador.
Sim, senhora, Ouro Oscar.
Mas, velho, como é que é? Nas calmas, né?
Aqui, meu irmão.
Seja bem-vindo ao nosso programa.
Muito obrigado.
Adilson, estás a ver que temos um novo formato para o programa Love Kuduro,
Tá
né?
bonito, tá doce.
Ok, esse é um programa novo para engrandecer mais o nosso Kuduro, mano.
Estamos
Por
todos
isso
de
chamamos
parabéns.
aqui para você fazer aquele tchan, tá vendo?
É o Mamão Muchacha, é onde tu entras, ao vivo.
Ok, mas antes de nós irmos para a dança do Mamão Muchacha, nós queremos saber do Adilson Maísa, como é que vai a sua carreira, os trabalhos.
Olha, primeiramente, olá a todos os telespectadores do programa I Love Kuduro e obrigado já pelo convite. A carreira vai bem, desde que começamos enquanto bailarino, segui como professor e hoje internacionalizei a minha arte enquanto bailarino coreógrafo e, portanto, decidi abraçar a parte musical, que é agora o novo projeto que tiramos, o Mamão Muchacha. Até aqui Deus tem colocado a mão, tudo tem corrido bem, estamos sempre na corrida, não para.
Não paramos de engrandecer o estilo Kuduro. E queríamos saber do Adilson, o que é que o Adilson acha de o que nós podemos fazer para engrandecer mais o estilo Kuduro. Ou seja, o que é que o programa I Love Kuduro o Adilson acha que pode fazer para engrandecer mais o estilo
O programa
Kuduro?
já tem feito, já tem dado oportunidade a novos talentos, já tem dado oportunidade até aos que já conseguiram atingir outros níveis para poderem passar aqui no programa e apresentarem seus trabalhos com qualidade. Isso já é o que, prontos, o demais que podiam ter feito. Mas também da parte dos fazedores da arte devem trabalhar mais, devem apostar mais nas suas carreiras pessoais e pronto, seguir eu digo sempre, sigam os passos do Kanza, vai chegar lá.
Ok, Adilson, antes de irmos seguir o posto do Kanza, por favor, Adilson, deixa as suas redes sociais para que o pessoal lá em casa possa aderir mais ao seu trabalho. E depois vamos à parte do tutorial e posteriormente da dança do Adilson.
E a família, vocês que estão do outro lado, sigam Adilson Maísa, o trabalhador, para todas as redes sociais, desde TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter e entre outros. Portanto, Adilson Maísa, tudo junto, _ oficial. É o meu nome para todas as redes sociais. Maísa com Z, não com S. Com S é no Brasil. Aqui no Ibacongo é com Z, família. Então sigam, partilhem os meus trabalhos, não deixem de acompanhar o que faço aqui em Angola e fora da Angola e sigam sempre o Mamão Muchacha. Agora vem Stabari.
Bom, Adilson, vamos ao tutorial com Adilson Maísa.
Agora, ao vivo. Sim, senhora. Posso começar? As minhas colegas. Venham cá, moças, por favor. Aguardem um momento porque... Ok, família, vamos começar o tutorial do Mamão Muchacha Dance Challenge. E o primeiro passo para nós fazermos a coreografia é este. Abrimos o pé, agachamos ligeiramente e batemos as palmas em 4 tempos. Vamos juntos? É aqui. 1, aqui. São 2, 3... e 4, ok? A movimentação do corpo ou da cintura é de trás para frente, deste jeito. Vai movimentando a cintura e o corpo e no mesmo tempo bates as palmas. 1, aqui, 2, aqui, 3 e aqui 4. Depois dos 4 passos, nós vamos fazer frente, trás, esquerda, direita e bate com o pé direito, ok, família? Vamos de novo, devagar, frente, trás, esquerda, direita e bate com o pé direito. Estamos juntos? Vamos do início até aqui, 4 vezes, depois frente, trás, esquerda, direita e batemos com o pé direito. Vamos juntos. 5, 6 e 7 e foi. 1, são 2, são 3 e 4. Vamos, frente, trás, esquerda, direita e bate. Entrou? Ok, seguindo o passo, depois de bater, temos um tempo que é 1, 2. O terceiro passo é colar o pé direito nesta posição, na diagonal, cola o pé direito, caminha. 1, 2, cola de novo, caminha. 1, 2, cola de novo e sucessivamente. 1, 2, cola, vai. 1, 2, cola, vai. 1, 2, cola. Vai, 1, 2 e cola. Estamos juntos? Vamos do início até aqui. 5, 6 e 7, foi. 1, são 2, são 3 e 4. Vamos, frente, trás, esquerda, direita, bate, tempo e cola. 1, caminha, cola. 2, caminha, cola. 3, caminha, cola. 4. E aqui repetimos o mesmo passo desde o início até aqui. Estamos juntos? Escuta o som, vamos embora.
Shelly News, tudo limpo.
Cheio, brincadeira tem hora e limite. Filho do pobre, não perde apetite. DJ Mike, cheio, ale mamã muchacha, mamã muchacha, mamã muchacha. Faz assim, macheta. Agora vem Stabari, Stabari chato. Matamos Stabari chato, vou dançar Stabari chato. Dali é Stabari, ei, ale mamã muchacha, mamã muchacha, mamã muchacha. Faz assim, macheta. Agora vem Stabari, Stabari chato. Dali é Stabari chato, vou dançar Stabari chato. Matamos Stabari chato, solta. Aqui assim, aqui assim, aqui assim, aqui assim. Aqui temos de Kanza, batuque e viola. Tamo a dançar estilo a gato vaiola. Fiz arte na rua, na igreja e na escola. Licola, rebola, rebola, rebola. Licola, rebola, rebola, rebola. Licola. Ale mamã muchacha, mamã muchacha, mamã muchacha. Faz assim, macheta. Agora vem Stabari, Stabari chato. Matamos Stabari chato, vou dançar Stabari chato. Dali é Stabari, ei, ale mamã muchacha, mamã muchacha, mamã muchacha. Faz assim, macheta. Agora vem Stabari, Stabari chato. Dali é Stabari chato, vou dançar Stabari chato. Matamos Stabari chato, solta. Mamadou fechou, tá rezar. Mamadou fechou, tá rezar. Fechou. Allah, Kubara. Allah, Kubara. Allah, Kubara. Allah. Ale mamã muchacha, mamã muchacha, mamã muchacha. Faz assim, machema. Agora vem Stabari, Stabari chato. Dali é Stabari chato, vou dançar Stabari chato. Matamos Stabari chato, solta. Kubara. 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 Agora vem Stabari. É trabalho no estágio, estágio é nas bombas.
Shelly News, tudo limpo.
Adilson Maísa num programa I Love Kudro. Excelente atuação, excelente música. Agora é contigo aí, Manuel Kanza.
Yep, so that was it. Thank you, Mauro. Muito obrigado. And we are back. So I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. We have so much to share with you. So much. I hope that you actually enjoying this I Love Kuduro, because you know I Love Kuduro loves you. On the next episode, we're not gonna have any guest. We're actually gonna take some time to talk to you and show you some amazing footage of here in Angola in terms of dance. And then we are also going to do a little bit of a little game where you need to guess if which music that you are gonna watch is Kuduro and which one is Afro House. All right, so stay tuned. There's more, and I'll see you next time, because I Love Kuduro loves you. Bye bye.